Hi, welcome back to Gathering Grounds Gaming. So this is the first video of a set of 3 videos about how I build a kill team board from board all the way through to the terrain. So today's video is going to be about how I build that board. So I'll catch you after this. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is I'm going to use these for the actual board itself. So if you don't know these are actually wooden canvases. So each board is 20 inches by 16 inches. So when you put them together, it'll be a 32 by 20 inch board. So I know it's actually a couple of inches narrower, but it is actually longer than a kill team board. So I thought, because I'm not going to use this for competitions, I'm going to use it at home, so I don't think you'll actually sort of notice like the difference. And they're only $7.49 from the range, so they're like super good value. I'm going to do a road. I think I am just going to sort of put the insulation in and sort of cut into it and then put cork over the top. So they're the boards. So the actual scenery itself, so like you saw if you voted for it, I've got started off with like one big piece of scenery. So this piece here, and then a corner piece. But the great thing is these actually come apart. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it apart into 2 with the corner, and I think I'm going to actually sculpt a little piece extra on each side to make them bigger than they are. That means I get sort of 3 taller buildings that I can put on the base. And then I've got the same style. I've got the smaller ruins. I've got some 3D printed craters. I might do some on my own, but this just gives me a head start. So I'm going to put a couple of those around, probably a couple in the buildings, and then I might even put one like on the road, cut some of the road out and put one in there as well. And also I've got some of these really cool 3D printed sort of barriers. They're very like kill teamy, very sort of Warhammer. They click together, but I think I might glue them together and actually glue them down. Let me know what you think in the comments, whether you think I should sort of keep them as scatter or whether I should glue them down. Got some like loads of barrels. I've got literally a box full of barrels. So I'm going to get some of these on the board, scatter them about. They're not going to be this colour, they're just the colour I decided to paint them. Got that, and I've got loads of Geek Gaming sort of base readies and some Jarvis Battle Zone sort of cover, which I'll use just to give it a bit of colour variation. But I've got loads here. There's loads to sort of be going on with. I think the video is going to be, probably be a 3-part video. So I'm probably going to do like a planning. So I'm going to get my paper and pen out and just sort of sketch how it's going to look, maybe sort of jot a few things on the board. And then I think the second one will be gluing it all down, giving it doing all the landforms. I've got some sculptor mold, and then sort of getting all that done. And then I think the third one will be painting and finishing touches. If it spills over to a 4th video, fine, but I'm going to try and get it done in 3 videos for you. So that's the build. So the first thing I'm going to do is just draw just a rough plan of the board. So I've got 2 boards on one piece of paper there. I'm just going to draw a road that runs down the middle. So this is all going to be made of cork, but I just thought a nice diagonal road, a bit more interest. I just want to sort of say at this point, I did actually do about 5 attempts in different designs, but I'd landed on the diagonal road that runs through the 2 boards with a road coming off one board. It just means that I can attach to it later. So now I'm just going to fill both of the boards with 2 basically sheets of just 10mm polystyrene, just basic polystyrene, so it means I can cut into it. And I'll glue all this down later with PVA when I'm ready to do it. And the next thing is I'm going to start making the roads, the actual raised areas, with 20mm foam, which I'll then cut down to 10mm foam. And I can then carve all the streets, all the curbs into this. And I'm literally just, with my plan, I'm just carving out the different sections, and then I will have to cut these up a bit later into smaller sections so I can get them more approx on to basically trim them down. But just for now, I'm just going to get the general shapes making sure that I'm just sort of measuring. I basically measured it in centimeters that I can then easily convert into inches on the actual foam itself. So now literally just cutting down the cork road. Again, I've measured all this out. I'm just going to basically get all this glue. I'll get all this glued in, and I'll stick all this down again with pure PVA. And just leave it to sort of settle overnight to let it all dry. Now I'm literally just putting on the PVA, pure PVA, it just in blobs. Don't want too much of a thick layer, and then literally I'll weigh all that down afterwards. Just put all that in, and then I'm just doing it with my trusty boxes full of miniatures, nice and heavy. Okay, so now we've got all the foam put down and we've got all the road all glued in. I know at the moment it looks pretty bad, but we are about to stick down all of the raised blue foam, and when we get all that glued down, you'll see it start to take shape. So again, like I did before, I'm just going to cut all of the blue foam. I've cut all this down now to 10 mil thick, but it is in smaller chunks, as you can see. But I'm going to cut it all down to get it all ready to sort of stick down, just mirroring the spaces around the roads. And I will have to put some smaller edge of bits in just to make sure it's all filled in. But as I say, this will come together pretty quick, and it will give us a nice effect actually for the foam. But you can see here, I'm just making bits fit. But this will all, let's say, this will all be filled later. And I'm now going to start gluing the edges of this down with hot glue, and I've put some PVA in the middle. So as I say, that will glue it nice and tight. Now I'm going round with my hot wire cutter, my handheld one, and I'm literally just running down the side of the board to make sure all of the blue foam is all nice and flush. Obviously, because when you cut, you tend to get a little bit left over, but this will tidy all that up, so the board should button up against each other. Getting stuck a little bit on the hot glue here, but it's all good. But it'll make a nice neat finish when I'm done. So that's where we're at. We start to fill it out. So I didn't use full sheets to do the sections for two reasons. First of all, I can't cut them to the depth that I needed on my Proxon cutter, and I didn't have enough 10 mil foam, and because I need some for later on in the build. So actually it's quite nice because it's created some sort of squares. And second of all, I had loads of this already cut from my 2 days of indecisiveness around how it was going to look. The planning I went through, I changed my mind about 4 times. I had loads of this left over, so I really didn't want to waste it. So I thought, well, I'm going to be texturing it, cutting into it anyway, so it's all going to look a bit different than it does now anyway. So what I'm going to quickly do now is I'm going to quickly just set up a few bits so you can see sort of like the layout of what sort of thing is going to look like, and then I'll catch you in the next video where we'll start having a look at gluing it all down, sort of setting things up, and we'll take it from there. I'm going to scratch build a first floor of this ruin, and then I'm going to put these bits of ruin on top, so you can sort of you'll get to experience a bit of scratch building. I'm going to have like an industrial bit here, and I'm going to show you how to make some fences with a break in it, so we can do some really cool fencing stuff here. I'm going to carve like a curb in on all the roads. What I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to dig this out and actually do like a crater here and sort of show you how to sort of like sort of sculpt it into the actual board. And I'm going to just drop a couple of those in here as well, just to show, and I can show you, I've got some like finished ones here, but I can show you how to do this sort of paint scheme as we go, and then how to sort of like blend it into the board. Now, hope you like this so far. I think the reason why I've sort of chose to do it like this is because actually I think I envisage sort of carrying the board out and doing another 2 tiles behind it, so sort of carry this industrial bit on and sort of see where it takes us. But for now, I think it's quite a nice little board. I like the bit of interest running through the middle and how you can sort of section these areas up. Let me know what you think so far. I'm going to sort of jump straight into the next video and sort of show you how to sort of lay it all down. We're going to get some sculptor mold out, and we're going to get, I can show you some of the different ground coverings and stuff like that I'm going to use, and we'll get it all glued in. I'm going to show you how to scratch build like a first floor with basically, so it looks like it's all sort of caved in. I hope you like that first video. I think there's been some really good lessons this week for me in that first video. Definitely got stuck on the planning. I had probably 3 or 4 versions. I had a version where I could sort of move all the boards around. I had like straight roads, diagonal roads, and I definitely got stuck on that for the first 2 or 3 days. For anyone that's sort of doing a board for the first time, is try not to get stuck on that first sort of planning bit, because that can definitely hinder getting started. And also in terms of the style as well. Obviously, I've landed on like the city structures, but about halfway through the week, I'd scrapped that and was going to go to do industrial. And I think even the industrial bit that I talk about at the end of this video, I think I'm pushing that to one side and going back to just pure sort of city board and leaving the industrial for maybe another board. Let me know what you think in the comments, but I'm definitely glad at the decisions I made. And I'm actually looking forward to showing you the next part of the video. I've already started scratch building some buildings in front of me here, and actually some of the boards are already now laid out in a little bit more detail. So any thoughts you've got at this point, just drop them in the comments. But as I say, the next video should hopefully be out next Saturday, when I've had a bit more time to sort of like get stuff stuck down, and we'll see where the video takes us. But as I say, if you like this video, thanks for supporting us, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.